Hello everyone, welcome once again to another video from Investing with the Difference. So today we are going to talk about one key aspect of EOS and which has become very controversial in recent days. That is the worker proposal system. And we will have a look at what exactly it is, what is going on, and what are the discussion around it. And we will also share some views which we have on this topic. So first of all, there was a recent post from Blockchainic. They talk about EOS worker proposal system, whether it is necessary or what exactly it is. So it's a good definition they have taken here, which is from Josh Kaufman, who is from EOS Canada. And they have quoted him saying that what is the worker proposal system? So as you are aware, EOS system creates inflation 5% per year. Each year there will be 5% new tokens created for EOS. That means 50 million new tokens. 1%, as you know, is dedicated to the funds, which is for block producers, and they get paid for running the blockchain. And while the 4% was to be paid for worker proposals fund. Now this is a source for funding ideas which will be community driven, and that's what is being defined. They are I think it was intended in a world where I think there was no clarity. I think this was a very early draft from Dan Larimer where he was looking for ideas for how to develop the ecosystem, because it's a community driven blockchain and you need more and more tools and more activities which can be for the good of the ecosystem for EOS. But as you can see that there has been a debate on how there was no worker proposal system in place. It was a fund which was proposed, but it was not really defined how it will work. And right now I think there's a core committee which is working on it, and they have published this is the core WPS working group. It is they are trying to develop a system where there can be funds moved to that worker proposal fund and they can be used. So where are these funds right now? So let's look at it. So this is an account called eosio.saving. This is where the 4% inflation is getting accumulated. As you can see here, it's already pretty rich. It is carrying around 8 million tokens, which is at current price it's $40 million. And at the price, let's say the token price goes up and the market recovers, we have a $10 per EOS token. At that, there was an estimate that $400 million per year kind of funds will be accumulated here. So so there are a lot of people who are questioning it, whether we need that much of inflation. I think one thing which we are getting very clear idea is that everybody agrees that these are too many funds, because this is a huge bucket which if we put it up for voting, it can be misused, it can attract bad elements. Because as you can see, so one thing I wanted to highlight before we jump on to some discussions is the core committee is already the worker proposal system they are building, and they are kind of understand these issues. So what I see is that they're already talking about they are creating a approval system, but before that they are already trying to cover some of these concerns. So the major concerns are that the whales will vote for personal interest, then 400 million per year is too much. As I discussed, I think this is agreed by everybody, and this definitely needs to be reduced. And of course, this worker proposal system we don't want a centralized group to make a decision. And block producers, some people say that why do you even need it? And I think there's a point here, because already there is no worker proposal fund being used, because there is no system in place to use them. And still you see that a lot of development is happening. A lot of block producers are doing a great work. Right now we don't see much from Block.one, but I think we have heard that Dan Larimer has said that they will be announcing of an app or a service which will allow you to create free accounts. So definitely Block.one will start contributing, but also block producers are already doing very good tools. As you can see, a lot of good block producers have been working on creating some amazing tools, wallets and whatnot. So that is one argument of why you even need additional funds when the things are already moving ahead. So they have tried to take care of these in their own way. They are trying to say that whales, they will try to create some kind of a review system. I don't know exactly the details of this, but it's going to be tough. So I'm going to details later in this video, and I think everybody agrees that they don't need to use all the funds. So they are, I think this is not for debate. Anyway, I think let's go back and let me give you an argument. So what is happening when you're talking about these funds and people are talking about whales will vote for personal interest? I kind of agree with that, because you need to understand that already there is a 1% inflation which is divided among 21 producing nodes, and in fact more than 21, because the backup block producers are also getting paid. So in this system and in this scenario, we are already seeing that there are a lot of block producers in top 21 which we don't like. And if everybody agrees that voting is already taking care of the funds, for example the block producer funds, then I think we have no issue creating more funds which can be used for community. So let me show you an example. So this is the EOS Authority tool of voting analytics. If you see here, so some of the block producers which are here listed, they have maximum number of votes. For example, EOS Authority is on the top, they have 13,000 votes. So just to remind you, only 27,000 people have voted, and out of that these block producers are getting noticed because they are doing a lot of work. But as you already know, EOS Authority or EOS New York are not on the top. Who are the producers on the top? This is the list of producer in the order, and this also analyzes who is voting for them. So you see Start EOS, EOS Laomao, ZB, Huobi, and especially these two, ZB and Huobi, they have exactly same voters. If you see here, number one voter which is shared among them is each other. So ZB is voting for Huobi, and they have a common voters, and Huobi is voting for ZB, while this is also true for some of these other block producers. For example, Greymas is shared with EOS New York, but as you all know, EOS Authority you can see is shared with EOS New York and all these block producers. But these are shared because more people are voting for them, and everybody can see that these guys are doing community work. I have not seen anything from ZB or EOS Huobi, and they are cross voting. And if you see top block producers right now, they are again they have shared votes with the ZB, Huobi, and all these block producers in the top. We don't know exactly, we have not seen a lot of work from these block producers. So top 5 right now, all of them are either Chinese or based in China, and of course there are some good block producers who are doing a lot of work. EOS 42 did, EOS 911, and so on. But coming back to my point, so the people who are really doing community work and a lot of good stuff, they are not getting voted. So, and this is only a part of 1% inflation. Remember that 1% inflation curve pays for all of these block producers. Now, even this, if we are not agreeing that these are this is a fair voting, and if we are already questioning that the best block producer who are voted by maximum number of people, they are not in the top, they are not getting the maximum rewards. So how can you assume that any new funds which are going to be created, which is very big fund, these are almost 4 times the inflation of block producer pay, why this will not be diverted by the whales, and why they will not be misused? I don't think that is anybody can confirm that. Even with all the process they are putting in place, I would say if there is a process which can really improve things, we should first focus on fixing the block producer pay. We should first focus on identifying the best block producers who are really doing a good work and who are available for community to be voted at much higher up, rather than creating new funds for voting, which is worker proposal fund. So coming back to this, I think, as I said, in an ideal world where we want the community funds, it may not be a bad idea. I think our view is that it is too much in terms of the funds, because it's, even if right now these people are trying to be fair, they are trying to not means you need to understand that if this is a coordinated effort, if the same people are voting for these top nodes, they can easily replace everybody else. Right now they are not doing it because they don't want to kill the golden egg laying hen, and they are trying to keep it alive by only taking some part of it. But as you open up more and more funds which can be voted for, which can be manipulated, I'm not convinced that this is a great idea. So just to highlight more about this, so let me open the blocks.io, and I will show you that right now we are not even geographically very spread out. We are seeing a lot more Chinese block producer right now, or the nodes based in China, in the top. And so if you look at it, if you count from the top, we have this 1, 2, 3, and even if you count the Hong Kong in the China area, 4. But even if you don't count, then I think there is a China, and even Bitfinex, even though the node is British Virgin Island, they are a Chinese block producer. and you have lot more concentration here. And as we saw in the voting pattern, I'm not sure we have all the details about the voters, whether they are cross voting and they are creating some kind of collusion here. So these are the kind of things I think if somebody can come forward and show me that we are 100% sure that this kind of voting is not really impacting us right now, then I think we can always say that yes, we have a healthy system where we have all the 21 block producers in the top who are selected fairly. Till that happens, I am not in agreement that we should create more funds which are up for voting, and that's why I think worker proposal system should be kept right now in check, because there is a huge amount of funds, you need to understand, which are up for grabs, and we are actually creating another reason for whales to come and start manipulating the system, start selecting the top block producers in their favor, and that's the risk we don't want to run in EOS. So again, as I said, the thing is that we still have, while I agree this was part of original plan, we need to definitely put it up for referendum, and we need to see how it comes along. While a lot of people are working hard on this, I'm not trying to suggest that they are doing anything wrong, because this was part of the original plan and they are trying their best. I think there are a lot of good suggestions coming forward on how it should be implemented, so we should be open for debate. I'm sure EOS Alliance has now started some debates on various issues, and I'm sure that the worker proposal system and worker proposal funds will be up for debate, and a lot of great ideas will come forward. And so without undermining their efforts, I would like to say we need to think hard about where we are going with this, and this is not something we want for EOS ecosystem right now. Another controversy of another misuse of funds, and that too coming from inflation, which is definitely a debatable idea. So that's all from us, and thanks for joining again. We will come back with more videos. Thank you for joining. Bye.